most important things that the colleges looked at was your extracurricular activity and your participation, like what you did outside of school. Because most people have good grades, so like the grades, it's equalized, so it's not as important as the other factors. So what they want to see is that you're involved in your community or like your schoolwork, or not necessarily school, like sports, like Thomas said, or like it doesn't even have to be school related. Like if you're involved in your church, you can tell them that, and they'll see that as a good thing. If you're involved in anything like volunteer work, it's always a positive. Oh, and when considering which college to go to, obviously you want to consider like the like what how much scholarships they're giving you. That's the first thing I looked at. And secondly, you want to look at if they have like if the program for your major is good. Like for example, if you're going to business, you want to see if they have a good business school. If you're going into the medical field, you want to see if they have a good medical field there. So that like just consider all those factors together and find what's best for you.
So in your journey to college, most of the thing they look at is your test scores. So you're going to be expected to take SAT or ACT, maybe even both sometime. And then you're expected to score high if you're to be considered in like a good college. And that's like part of it. And then there's also like just as Jedediah said, your extracurriculum. So I'll not get deep into that. And then there's also your personal essay. So personal essay is what departs you apart from the general. So what makes you unique, This is the time to like write about like things that you don't really share or things that you find is like valuable or eye-catching from the college admission, something that will distinguish you apart from everybody. So that's one of the other thing. And also your recommendation is also important. So if you're in like high school, try to get to know your teachers or whoever your mentor is or whoever you hang out with a lot that have credibility. So like if you get to know them, what happens is like when college asks for your recommendation, and if they write your recommendation, they can write it deep and like not full of things that most of the people would not get in like a normal college recommendation. And also keep your grades up. Yeah. So like so far, it's just a test you can study for and even like ace, even if you do bad on your other classes. So it's basically a test that you have to study for. It's not really sometimes some people may argue that it's not a good measurable, but right now it's a big factor in college. So you might want to do well on it.
Will that help to get your scholarship?
Yes, definitely. Because some of the big essay, not the essay, the scholarship program like that, they ask for your SAT or ACT.
Okay. Thank you. One more about SAT. So I don't know how much you know about the Burmese education system, but I think you must have some kind of exposure to it too. So let's say a student from Burma wants to take SAT test, and how would you recommend him or her to study? Like, obviously, he or she will not be getting the same education system as you. So how would you recommend him or her to study SAT in order to get a good score?
So apart from the language barrier, if there is a language barrier, yeah, that's another big problem that needs to be addressed. Because the language barrier, because like SAT tests you on almost every like the English, math, and everything, right? And ACT include even science. So there's a lot of reading. So if there's a language barrier, that needs to be resolved to the point where like, can you read English and understand it? But if you're okay with that, most of the time there's many methods to studying. So studying, you can give like 1 hour to it, and some people even give 4 hours to like studying the SAT. And what happens is they buy books from like Princeton or Kaplan they formulate their textbook nearly to the SAT. And sometimes you can even buy books from the SAT themselves, but most people don't recommend that because it's really like copy and paste from last year. And then there's also another way, if you have money, that is. If you have money, like people like Princeton and Kaplan, they offer tutor. So basically you sign up for a course, and then that course is like a normal online class. You'll be expected to come into the meeting, and then you can ask the tutor questions. But I only recommend that if you have money, because sometimes it's the same thing as you studying as yourself. So the best thing is like you give time to it.
Okay, thank you so much. And may I know like how long did it take for you to study and be ready for it?
So that's the thing about SAT. SAT, for you to be like have an easy part, pay attention to all your class from starting from 9th grade, because most of the SAT math goes all the way up to only math 3, or like not too advanced above that. So what happened is if you pay attention and master all those classes, by the time you study your SAT or ACT, you'll be like a step ahead. And then studying will be easier because you'll have algebraically background and good algebra background and everything. So you'll be step ahead. And also if you're studying, depending on how you study, give the SAT like, so after you finish your schoolwork, give it like 1 hour or 30 minutes. The most important thing is consistency. Never skip a day or two, because as soon as you start skipping, you'll start accumulating and you'll lose track, I guess. Yeah.
So did you use the book from Princeton and other bookstore for your personal study?
Yeah, I did use all of them. I used Princeton and Kaplan because like they offer a many diversity approach to the test. So like one book may say approach it this way, like don't read the whole passage, read the question first. But another book might say read the passage a little bit and then do the question. So it really tests like what are you comfortable with. So I recommend like trying all.
Okay, just one last question. How much is the book?
So the book, they cost ranging from somewhere around 50 to above, maybe, depending on it. Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Okay, thank you.
So Thomas, according to your experience, the GPA or SAT, which one is more important to get admission in a good school?
Just like Jet say in the beginning, nowadays the American education system is so competitive. So you will never not really see like people who are admission in Harvard, right? Most of them have 4.5, 4 point above GPA. So GPA become like something that everybody have, like 4.0. So what happened is now they look at the test scores. The test scores, that will really determine in some college, like middle college, that will really determine who gets in or not. But in high college, where acceptance rate is low, even the test score is really similar. So what happened is they move on to the essay. Essay is what really determines it sometimes. So if you're looking for a high acceptance low college, most of the time, your GPA and your SAT score will be above with everybody. It will be equal. So your essays and your like extracurriculum is very important now. But if you're looking to come to a mid college where like the acceptance rate is okay, then your test score is really important. Your GPA is also important. And if you're looking for like a low college, I guess everything is important in some way. Yeah.
Now I would like to ask Adi. Tiditya, would you please tell us about your school, your college, and how did you get admission there, and did you get any scholarship?
So how I got into college, so ever since middle school, I was a part of this program which like helped first generation students apply and get to college, right? So basically they helped me through my entire application process, helped me with the ACT testing, helped me find scholarships. So pretty much like if for people in America, like there's a lot of what I'm saying is there's a lot of programs like that. You just have to find one and try to stick to it, because sometimes it gets tedious, but like they actually know what they're doing. And as first generation students, like we don't know the process, so we need like we need the help we can get. And as for scholarships, there's just so much scholarships out there. All you really need to do is like take the time to look for them and apply, because if you apply to enough, you're gonna get at least a few. And if you get like you'll get the money. Like the money is not the biggest problem here. The biggest problem is, like Thomas said, like your grades, your test score, and your essay. The money, if you